Despite spending most of our lives under a brolly, we Brits have a real love affair with open-top sports cars. One of the two-seater roadsters that consistently appears in our wish list is the Mazda MX-5, a car that when it was originally conceived in 1989 was actually inspired by the traditional British roadster. 3 generations later, the formula has remained faithful and simple. Make it light, make it rear-wheel drive, give it a 50-50 weight distribution, and you'll probably have one of the most engaging cars to drive, regardless of price. The Mazda MX-5 maintains the classic sports car proportions of long aluminium bonnet and 2 seats mounted just before the rear axle. Those pop-up headlamps of old have long gone to help improve aerodynamic efficiency, and the overall visual stance of the car has been beefed up with this expansive front mesh grille, these chunky wheel arches and the 17-inch alloy wheels. The biggest change has been the inclusion of this 3-piece folding metal roof. It's available to spec on the Roadster Coupe, and it's basically for customers that fancy spending a little bit more cash for some improved refinement and security. It's all electrically controlled, and it will convert your MX-5 from sleek coupe to open-top roadster in just 12 seconds. As soon as you sit inside the MX-5, the low set position and these figure-hugging seats really mark it out as a sports car. The steering wheel only adjusts for height, but it doesn't matter really because the driving position is perfect. The space may be snug, but because the dash layout is so clean and ergonomic, it never feels claustrophobic. You also get the impression, even in here, that there's been a lot of focus in taking weight out of the car. So the rear view mirror, for example, has been reduced in size to shave a few grams, and even the vanity mirrors are now housed in these tiny, thin plastic casings. There are still practical considerations, like front and side airbags. You've also got traction control, 2 cup holders in the centre, you've got another set of cup holders in the door cards, a decent storage bin in the centre here, and also a decent glove box. As for downsides, all the materials feel solid, but there's no soft touch plastics to speak of. Then when the roof is up, the rear 3/4 visibility is limited, and that's regardless of whether you go for the soft top or the hard top option. And then there's the boot, which has the most awkwardly located release catch I've ever seen. And when you do finally get inside, it isn't exactly what you'd call spacious. But does any of that matter when you're on the road? Not one bit. Whatever kind of driver you are, whatever level you're at, whatever road you're on, I guarantee you will love driving the MX-5. You have simple, direct steering that is so communicative and almost Lotus-like on the initial turn-in, and it's mated to this deliciously snappy 6-speed gearbox. You can spec an automatic, but don't. You'll have so much fun shifting cogs in this thing. There are 2 engines on offer, a 1.8 litre petrol that develops 124 brake horsepower, and this 2 litre unit that develops 158 brake horsepower. Neither of which are super fast, to be honest, but that's not the point with this car. This is more about how it flows down a road, how connected the driver feels to the entire experience. It is really absorbing, and it's so much fun. The body control is excellent, and the nice thing is that you still get the occasional bit of swagger from that rear axle. Just makes the car feel like it's a bit alive, it keeps you on your toes. When it's up, this car's metal roof is also impressive. There are no creaks, no rattles, and it offers more protection from the weather. The only thing I should note is for enthusiasts is the fact that it adds another 37 kilograms to the curb weight. The Mazda MX-5 is still fantastic fun to drive, and judging by our owner review scores, it's also a pleasure to live with thanks to excellent build quality, reliability and residual values. Enthusiasts should probably stick with the soft top, but the addition of the Roadster Coupe has created the most comfortable version yet. So if you're in the market for an affordable sports car and can live with that limited practicality, then it's difficult to recommend anything else.